Welcome back to Commercial Breaks with Miss Education. I'm Miss Education. Yay! Okay. So, like I said previously, like when I talk about things, it's because something happened, whether it's today or during the week, and I'm just like, oh, I need to talk about this. I need to release this. Okay. So, I have been noticing that there is an awakening that's happening, right? I'm gonna start with me personally. I know eventually, like I said, I'll share everything. I do plan on it. But my awakening definitely, like it was a shake, was this summer, so summer 2023, where God was like, wake up, girl, and see what's going on. And it has been transformative and it has been amazing. And I have been able to, I see things clearer. I speak differently. Oh, you know what? What does that mean, awakening? Like, for instance, the fact that I'm doing these commercial breaks is part of my awakening. I would never put myself out there like this. I don't like to put myself out there like this. Even having these public conversations about God is not something that I've ever done, really. I find myself, whether I'm at work, and I work in a public school, whether I'm at work or on the street, in the elevator, at church, whatever, I stay talking about God's love. Like I'm excited. I've fallen in love with God, right? And that's part of this awakening. Because of my falling in love and my new relationship with God, I see things differently. Like things that I used to co-sign with, I no longer co-sign with. For instance, let's keep it a buck, let's keep it 100. Like I've said in the past, I didn't have a problem with abortion, as I was a recipient of having the process done. Now I'm anti-abortion, right? Because I understand that is a life, that is a human life, that is a child of God from inception, before I knew you. Right? God said, before you were born, I knew you. That's what God said. Before you were born, He knew you. He knew me before I was conceived. So yeah, I'm not down with abortion, right? I no longer co-sign with the LGBTQ community as far as the people, the person. I don't have a problem with the person. It's a spirit inside, right? I don't co-sign with this one aspect of their lives, but I can love the person. So I used to attend the pride parades in solidarity with my friends. I will not be doing that, right? I will not be co-signing to that anymore. Just stuff like that. I'm more aware of spiritual things. I'm more aware of what's actually going on, like what we take for granted, what we see as subtle or not important, in the gravity of things. God has just been opening my eyes, and I am forever grateful. And I'm the type of person, if anyone knows me, if I know that door 3 has $1 million, I'm telling everybody about door 3. I'm like, yo, there's $1 million door 3. I'm not hiding it, and I'm not keeping it for myself, because there's enough for everyone. And even if there wasn't enough for everyone, I'm still not keeping it for myself, right? I just love to, if I know something, I'm gonna let you know. Sometimes it's to the detriment of everyone, okay? I'll be like, yeah, do this, and it worked in that moment, but 3 weeks later, it might not be the thing to do. But then I'll tell you, listen, it's not the thing to do anymore. But that's just the type of person I am. And as a result, me having this awakening, and part of this awakening, full disclosure, I have now become definitely more conservative in my views, clearly, because from the things I've said, I'm more conservative with my views. And I'm just, my goal is to be 10 toes down, right? For God. I feel like this is like the Lord's army. Some of you may know, so I'm in the Lord's army. Yeah, I feel like this is a war, and I want to be a soldier in God's army, with my general being Jesus Christ. that like that's where we are. This is where I am, and I pray God that I stay here. Because I know sometimes people get on fire, like, woo, I'm on fire, and then all of a sudden life happens and it dwindles. I don't want to dwindle because I am happy, genuinely content, and at peace. And I want to stay there. And the reason I do these now is because like I said, I'm at peace, and I want to share that with everyone. I want everyone to know what this peace that passes all understanding, what this feels like. So I'm sharing it with you. So I call it my awakening. But what I've noticed is other people are having these awakenings. And what I mean by other people, I'm talking about, people who I used to commit spiritual sins with. Okay? People who I used to commit immoral crimes with are having these spiritual awakenings. People like, Jen, I know we used to do this, but have you heard about Jesus? I'm like, yes, I have. Let's talk about Jesus, right? Look, it used to be, let's talk about sex, baby. Now we're like, let's talk about God and me. Okay. Like, he can take anybody and turn them around. So this awakening, and I'm loving it. I have a friend, a colleague, someone I worked with, who came up to me the other day and was just like, Jen, something is happening. I don't know. I think God's speaking to me. And just hearing her, I'm like, you're being touched. God is working in your life. And it's beautiful to just see how God is moving through people. I had a conversation, and because of how my stance and how I feel about certain things now. So I had this conversation with this man who was part of the LGBT community. And we're shooting the breeze, loving the conversation. Dope, man. This man's so dope. Having a great conversation. And we're seeing eye to eye. And, we both have conservative views. Even many of the views on the LGBT community, we see eye to eye on that. And he's like, Jen, and he says to me, he's like, Jen, there are more people out there like us. There are more people waking up. I'm like, it's like, yes. There are more people waking up and seeing things for what they are and falling in love with Jesus. I have a girlfriend who, was like me, right? Doing the stuff in the streets, doing whatever. And we had a conversation recently where she says to me, she's like, I think I'm beginning to understand that this thing you're talking about, this thing that you've been feeling, this thing that you've been expressing. I think I'm beginning to understand it because I'm finding a peace. I'm finding a self-love. I'm finding a self-joy. And I'm in my head, I'm like, God is dope. He can take anyone. You just need to have a willing heart, faith of a mustard seed. He can take anyone and turn us around. And so I'm excited about this awakening. And it's not for many, it's a spiritual awakening, and that's amazing. I want there to be a spiritual awakening everywhere. But then there's also this worldly awakening, which I truly believe that when people wake up in the world, you have no option. When you wake up, when you see what's really going on, there are only two options, right? You were either down with God or you hanging out with the devil. Pick one. Literally, that's it. It's good and evil. No in between, no grays, no nothing. There's no trans in between. It's either God or the devil, period. So I feel, and it's exciting when people are having these awakenings and they're waking up on an earthly level, just seeing what's going on in our society. They are some are slowly, some are fast, whatever. Chia pets versus maple trees, but they are moving towards God. And that is just amazing to me. And there's a liberation that comes with it. And my mission, it's on my heart. I don't know if I use the word mission, but it's on my heart to just share this with everyone. I can't explain to you how this awakening feels. And I'll talk about it more. But on so many levels, there's a peace, man, a peace that passes all human understanding. That means when you're going through something where the world is like, you should be sad, mad, losing your mind, right? worried, stressed, and you're just sitting there like, not today, Satan. That's my thing. That's what I say at work. Not today, Satan. Like, no. Because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I'm going to be okay. And okay doesn't mean that I'm going to win the race. Okay doesn't mean that I win the lottery. Okay means that whatever comes my way, God is in control. Oh, like, look, I'm excited because that feels so good, because even in that, I know that I am going, because I'm human and this is life and this is part of life. I am going to hit some bumps. I'm going to visit some valleys in my life. But I'm going to be okay. That's that peace. That's the peace I'm talking about, yo. That's the awakening I'm talking about, when all of this can happen and you know who's in control. And I'm just super excited. And all of y'all under the sound of my voice, right? I know I'm getting preachy, but for real, anybody who's watching, anybody who gets to hear this, genuine prayer is that you have this awakening. And if it has to be like a earthly awakening where you just see what is really going on in our society, the foolishness, how they playing us for stupid, legit playing us for stupid, and we are taking it. And when you wake up and you're like, this does not make any sense, you'll realize layer after layer of how many things don't make sense. And eventually you'll be like, yo, what does make sense? G-O-D. What does make sense? Nothing but the love of Jesus. So, yeah, that's my thing. I hope and I pray that you get there. So an earthly awakening where you see that our politics is upside down. What they're doing to our children is a crime, and we should not sit silent and let them handle our children. They are indoctrinating our children. They're dumbing down, lowering down, watering down the curriculum. They're trying to make our children stupid. The TV, the programs they watch, making our kids dumb. Okay, indoctrination, all of it. When you wake up and you see it, it's a beautiful thing to see it, because now you could stop it, right? So, yeah, I pray for you. I pray that you pray for yourself and for someone you love to awaken. If you have an awakening, or if you are woke, not that woke, right? Not that woke, but if you are spiritually woke, yo, please pray for someone else so that they can wake up. All right? Anyways, till next time. Commercial breaks with Miss Education. Deuces.